Well, hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Alice Lima. I'm a principal broker at Home and Land Real Estate. And this week, we're going to be talking about why more sellers than ever are coming off the sidelines right now and why you should care. So it's an interesting phenomena, and it layers on top of the natural inventory increase that we get in the spring, just because Southern Oregon is a mostly seasonal market. And a lot of people do wait until spring to do their buying and selling. But we have, on top of that, more sellers than ever getting off the sidelines, putting their house on the market. And the reasons are interesting. So, one of the reasons is the quality of the inventory on the market now is much better than it was even just 8 or 9 months ago. So I'm noticing that I'm getting calls, and I'm talking to other agents that are getting these calls too, where people want to sell their house because they already found a much better house and the prices are better. We just came off this downturn. So this is the side effect working through our local market, and it's kind of exciting. So we have people that did not want to sell or move, but they are enticed to sell and move because they have a much better, more appropriate property in mind, and they've already identified that. So that's one reason. The other reason that's happening is there's a lot of landlords that are suddenly getting offers from their long-term tenants. So we have that inventory. It's not really open market inventory unless the landlord and the tenant don't come to terms. Then I predict those homes are also going to hit the market just because, well, now they're in selling mode. So we'll wait and see if I'm right about that. The other reason is interest rates getting lower. It's getting close enough to the really great interest rate that the seller might have. Like if they're going to give up their 3% rate, they want it to be worth it. So, right, it's always people move, but they move when they're either forced to or it's worth it. So this is all going into the it's worth it department. So the interest rates are low enough that it would be worth it for them to go ahead and sell their house and buy another one. They also have a lot of equity. The equity average from 2019 to December 2025, 21.5% increase from late 2019 to late 2025. People's houses went up in value on average 21.5%. So that's a pretty good reason because they're sitting on a big enough down payment if they sell their house and the interest rates are a little lower. So it's kind of like this magical amalgam happening before our eyes. Um, the other thing I want to mention is that there is the inflation rate, the rate of inflation has gone down quite a bit, and wages have gone up just a smidge over the rate of inflation. So that dynamic gives sellers confidence, even if they're retired and they're not, doing a 9 to 5 anymore, it gives them confidence in the market. And that is really important in Southern Oregon because we have what I call more seasoned uh, homeowners. Our average age in Southern Oregon is over 55. And so they are more careful with their money. They're also, when I say seasoned, that means they're experienced. They're experienced homeowners. They've bought and sold in several markets. They know the rhythm, they know the ebb and flow of the real estate market. And so they're more cautious and they are not in such a big hurry. So all these people are sitting around thinking they would move if the rates went down. They found a really great place. They had enough equity for a down payment. All those magical things are happening right now. So I wanted to ring the bell that it's going to be an interesting spring. And we're predicting that the rate of active listings is going to stay about the same. How can that be if there's more coming on the market? Well, I want to show you this chart, and this is from Freddie Mac, and it's showing the active inventory from 2016 to 2025, the end of 2025. And you can see that we've come out of the dippity-doo from COVID. We've had our correction, and we're going to be kind of flat. And this is active listings. So the active listing count is important because I'm thinking and watching that the inventory is getting scooped up in 30 to 90 days. So I look to see a pretty stable active listing count in Southern Oregon throughout the rest of 2026, but we're going to have a lot more transactions. And this is something that was predicted a year or two ago as one of the likely outcomes of the recent downturn. And that downturn was only a -7%. And I know that for some people that made the difference of selling or not selling, or buying or not buying. I don't want to belittle it, but in real estate terms, especially long term, a decline of 7% is really just a blip. And we'll talk about that later in the year when I can show you that little 7% dippity-doo was really kind of minor in the scheme of things. So we look for a very interesting spring. We're excited about it. We love normal markets. We haven't had one in a long time, but it also opens up a lot of possibilities for all of us to change where we're living, add more investment properties to our portfolios, help our kids get something. It's just, it makes it more breathable. And that is a good thing. So I would love to talk to you about your plans. We seem to have enough momentum going into this spring that the new inventory is going to be scooped up quickly enough that it's not going to change the ratio of active listings. So that is something we're looking forward to. And I'm also looking forward to talking to you about your real estate needs. Give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. I want to be your listing agent. I want to be your buyer's agent. And we want to talk to you also about property management and rentals if you're inclined to put your toe into that world. We also have an interesting podcast going into a much deeper dive on the tenant buying the landlord's house, how to do that and what that all looks like. So look for that podcast. Like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to hit the magic 1,000 subscriber on YouTube. We'd appreciate if you guys could help us out with that. But but in the meantime, give me a call, give me a text, and have a beautiful Southern Oregon weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye, folks.